Hey guys, it's Jenna G. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make these shrimp stuffed mushrooms. So the mushrooms that I'm using today would be these baby Bella mushrooms. You can get them at most supermarkets. They also have the regular white button ones, but I prefer these baby Bella to use for this particular recipe. So I'm going to start off by first of all removing the stems from the mushrooms. So it's pretty simple, it's just a matter of pulling them out and setting it aside. That's all really to it. So I'm going to be doing that for all of the mushrooms, removing that stem from each one. Now to clean the mushrooms, what I usually do is use a damp paper towel and just wipe each one of them. You don't want to put them under running water. You don't even want to put them in water to soak. They have a high content of water already, so you want to avoid that. Just dampen them with a cloth and just wipe them clean. Now the stems, I'm actually going to be chopping up these stems into fairly fine pieces. It don't have to be too fine because we're going to be actually putting them into our mini chopper. So I'm just going to break them up or cut them up into smaller pieces to make it easier in the food chopper. And I'm also going to be using onions in this. So I'm going to chop it up again. Both of them are going to go into the food processor, food chopper. So no need for them to be extra fine at this point. Next, I'm going to be working on the shrimp. Now the shrimp, I'm keeping it simple, already cleaned and deveined. And all I'm going to be doing is adding some of this JGM Products Cajun seasoning to it, along with some salt and black pepper. So the exact measurements will depend on you. The Cajun seasoning adds some fantastic flavor to it, and your pinch of salt and your black pepper goes in there. Mix that up, and we're going to set that aside. Now I'm going to be using breadcrumbs, but I don't have the panko breadcrumbs or any other breadcrumbs on hand. So of course Crix is going to be coming to the rescue. I'm actually going to be using Crix as my breadcrumbs, and it's pretty simple. All I'm going to be doing is just adding the Crix to my mini chopper and just chop it up until it's nice and fine, and there you have your homemade breadcrumbs basically. So the next thing we want to do is basically cook the shrimp, cook that filling. So to my pan, I'm going to be cooking with this chosen foods avocado oil. Of course, be sure to get your hands on that. And once the oil is nice and hot, I'm going to be grating some garlic and adding my onions and the chopped up mushroom stems to the pan. I'm going to cook that just for a few minutes until the onions are nice and tender and the mushroom stems are cooked through properly. In goes the shrimp. Shrimp is not going to take long at all to cook, so we're just going to add that to the pan and let them cook for just about a few minutes, 1 or 2 minutes, depending on the size of them. It's going to turn nice and opaque, and that's when you know your shrimp is cooked through. Next, in goes our breadcrumbs or our crushed up crix. We're going to stir that around there, and we're going to be adding a pinch of salt and black pepper to this. Stir that around, and that is basically it for your stuffing. So the next thing we're going to be doing is adding that to our food processor or our mini chopper. The reason for that is because we want to make it easy to work with when we stuff in, because the mushrooms are fairly small and you want to make sure that it's easy to stuff them with and you don't have too much stuff falling off or out of the mushroom. So we just basically adding it to the mini food chopper or the food processor and processing it or chopping it up until it's nice and small. Next, we're going to be emptying it into a bowl, and then in goes some Parmesan cheese. So you can add as much cheese as you want. I'm using Parmesan, but you can add any grated cheese that you prefer. So our stuffing is ready, and now we're going to be working on stuffing those mushrooms. So I have a greased baking dish, and all I'm going to be doing is using some of that avocado oil. You just brush on some oil onto the mushroom caps. So once you have all of them with that oil on it, then you're going to be stuffing them. So I'm going to be taking some of that stuffing that we just made there, and we're going to be adding it to each of those mushroom caps. So I like to press them down just to make sure that they're inside and they are nice and firm and stays on in there. Once we have all of them stuffed, this is what it looks like. And for me, I'm going to be adding some more of the Parmesan cheese to the top of it, or any cheese that you have on hand or you prefer to use. Sprinkle some of the JGM Products parsley on them as well, and we're going to be popping this into the oven at 400 degrees for about 20 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes. Once they're done, this is what they look like. Our shrimp stuffed mushrooms. So like I said, if you don't eat the shrimp, you can replace it with chicken, or you can just eliminate it and add some more vegetables to the mushroom stems as you like. But this is just the basic steps involved in making some stuffed mushrooms. If you're wondering what I had it with, well, I made some chana rice and I also had it with some fish. When you cut into it, check it out. This is what it looks like. So if you like mushrooms like I do, give this a try and let me know what you guys think about it. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you all enjoy it, and I will see you all in my next video.